To unleash the full power of the federal government in this effort today, I am officially declaring a national emergency.
First at 6 o'clock, President Trump declaring the coronavirus a national emergency. Good evening, everyone. I'm Brooke Martin.
And I'm Phil Sanchez. Thank you for joining us tonight. The president invoking the Stafford Act that will free up additional funds, and it will mobilize and empower the Federal Emergency Management Agency. The stock market, meanwhile, surging during President Trump's speech, closing up more than 1,900 points. Here in Indiana, Governor Holcomb has just released new actions related to the state's efforts to stop the virus. And they include Hoosiers on Medicaid will not pay co-pays for COVID-19 testing. Hoosiers on Medicaid will also get the 90-day refills of medication for chronic conditions. Community meals for senior citizens are being converted to home meal deliveries. FSSA has given daycares specific guidance to protect children in their care. And if you need help with childcare, you can call your local childcare resource and referral by calling 1-800-299-1627.
Also breaking in just the last hour, this from the Indiana Department of Education until further notice. The spring 2020 iRead 3 will be postponed. iStep Plus first-time administration will also be suspended effective Monday. The department is awaiting forgiveness from Governor Holcomb and the U.S. Department of Education on all other state assessments, including iLearn and iAM. All right, we have team coverage tonight covering all of the latest developments on the coronavirus outbreak and its impact on central Indiana.
Yeah, we begin tonight, though, with the News 8's David Williams at the State House. And, David, you just got done talking with the governor.
Governor Eric Holcomb sat right in front of our cameras and said he is doing everything in his power to fight this coronavirus in our state. Have you gotten help from President Trump and his administration in the midst of this coronavirus concern?
Absolutely, and pleased to report that we're in not just regular communication, and we are. The Vice President hosts a weekly call. We've had two so far. He called me last Saturday. I was on the phone yesterday evening with the director of the CDC, Dr. Robert Redfield. Was on the phone this morning with Senator Todd Young and Congressman Greg Pence and Congressman Pete Visclosky, all talking about this very same issue as what resources do we need. I'm pleased to hear Senator Young shared with me that the Senate recess was canceled and they're going back on Monday, and the president is holding a press conference at 3 o'clock today to give some more updates. We want to make sure that they know how appreciative we are of what we've got, but we're going to need more, and they know that. And we want to make sure, and that's got to do with all the supplies that's necessary. People have in their mind that it's this kit, and it's some kind of test. That's one piece of it. That's just one piece of it. But we're concerned. We need to make sure that we have gowns and masks and swabs and the actual reagents, et cetera. All the above. They know that, and like Dr. Box just mentioned, we got some more supplies in yesterday. We got more coming online, so we feel good about where we are.
Dr. Box says the state got more test kits from the CDC yesterday, and there are more expected next week. By the way, you can watch the entire interview tonight with Governor Eric Holcomb. It will be online on wishtv.com. For now, we're live at the State House. I'm David Williams, Wish TV, News 8.
David, thank you. A new test just approved by the Trump administration is expected to get results in just a few hours, and it will be manufactured by Roche Diagnostics, whose North American headquarters is right here in Indianapolis.
News 8's Jenny Drasler spoke to officials there right after this announcement was made. And Jenny, what are you learning tonight?
Well, Phil and Brooke, officials here with Roche say that their involvement with getting involved with developing these testing kits for coronavirus, it didn't start just today when that announcement was made. It's actually been going on for months. Now, I spoke to the VP of Communications, Randy Pritchard, with Roche Diagnostics, and he says that the company actually started developing these test kits back in late January when things started to ramp up in China. Officials with Roche say they have 500,000 test kits in their warehouse right now that will start shipping out later tonight. Roche says because of their quick work with the CDC on this, they were actually able to take what would have normally been an 18-month development time down to 6 weeks. Now, they say their test only takes about 3 hours, so Roche says there is a quick turnaround time to get those results. Roche says they're sending the test kits out now to places that need it the most first.
Given the volume that's going on here as far as patients, we've had to be very strategic in how we use this supply. We've been working in very close alignment with the Centers for Disease Control to make sure we get the tests in the right locations so that every patient that needs a test can get one as quickly as possible. So been working first and foremost closely with the national lab chains who have a presence in all 50 states, can take samples and get them tested very quickly. And then also working with some of the regional labs that have that same capability and large health systems within the most highly affected areas across the country for now.
Now, Roche says they will continue to manufacture the coronavirus test kits, and they do not anticipate running out anytime soon, as they can make 1.5 million tests a month. Live from Roche Diagnostics on the northeast side, Jenny Drasler, Wish TV News 8.
Jenny, thank you very much. The Indiana High School Athletic Association has pulled the plug on this weekend's high school basketball teams. The association has postponed the boys' state basketball tournament one day after saying that it would play the regionals with only limited crowds. Commissioner Bobby Cox says they will continue to monitor the situation, may reschedule the games later this spring. The state gymnastics finals will go on as scheduled in Muncie, but without spectators.
The cancellations continue in the sports world. Today, the NTNT IndyCar Series announced that the series has canceled all events through the month of April.
Yeah, so what does that mean for the rest of the series and its schedule? Charlie Clifford joining us now live from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. And Charlie, I guess the best question for us tonight is, when will the cars be back?
It's a great question, Phil, and your answer is May, right here behind me at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway for the Indy GP. The first 4 races of the 2020 season canceled. The hope is that they may be able to circle back and get these venues with cars on the track before the season's over. But this was the last pro sports domino to fall today. Earlier this afternoon, the Masters postpones the 2020 play in Augusta, Georgia, and also NASCAR canceling this weekend's race in Atlanta and next weekend in Miami. As for St. Petersburg, this is a complete 180 from what we heard yesterday. Mayor Nick Krensman said yesterday, we're going on without the fans in St. Pete. Today, Mark Miles hops on a conference call, the president of IndyCar, saying this is unfit to race even without fans. He cited Disney closing its doors and also the decision made by golf earlier today. As Miles looks ahead to May, the work that remains between tonight and the 104th Indianapolis 500, it is not a short list.
Our hope, our ambition, and our plan is to restart in May and to get in as much of a season as we can. And I know that our promoters, are going to assess their individual situations as well. We'll be, every day, every hour, talking to suppliers, to the paddock, to our sponsors, our broadcasters, and our promoters, and we'll put on as big a show as we possibly can this year.
The 500 this year is supposed to be amazing anyway, with the with the crowd that's going to be there. So now you can see people that are really weren't planning on coming, that are still wanting to get their racing fixed. They're going to come to Indy now, and it's just going to be an amazing event. The Grand Prix is probably, hopefully, going to be sold out as well as the 500, and it's just going to be something to watch for a lot of people.
Again, 4 races canceled to start the season. Later here at 6 o'clock on Wish TV, Graham Rahal joins us from St. Petersburg. His thoughts as the drivers are now making their way back towards Indianapolis. Also, Olivia Ray with a touching story on the NCAA side, how one local team that planned on going to the big dance is now stuck at home for now at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Charlie Clifford, Wish TV News 8.
Charlie, thank you. Many parents now scrambling to find childcare for their kids since Marion County schools are closed for the next 2 weeks. News 8's Aaliyah Hodges tells us how childcare facilities across the area are working to accommodate families.
Child care centers on the Far East Side have been slammed with calls. Preparation of Life Child Care says parents are asking if there's space available to enroll their kids. Freedom Academy is also experiencing the same thing. they're launching an emergency child care program to help parents starting Monday. They're hiring retired teachers and administrators to accommodate an additional 150 students. Staff members say they will follow the CDC's recommendations to avoid the spread of germs.
They're not going to lose anything curriculum-wise, academic-wise, or recreationally being here. We're still going to follow the same protocol that they would have handled in school. They're still going to get their meals, and they're still going to get their academic enrichment while they're here with us for whatever period of time that they're here.
They're hoping these extra precautions will help ease parents' concerns.
Freedom Academy's emergency child care is ready to extend their program if the school systems remain closed. To learn how to sign your child up, head to our website, wishtv.com. Reporting on the East Side, I'm Leah Hodges, News 8.
Leah, thank you. The coronavirus continues to spread, but cough, low-grade fever, and shortness of breath aren't the only symptoms.
Yeah, health experts are saying there is something equally important we need to be paying attention to. News 8's medical reporter Dr. Mary Gillis joins us with more on that. Mary.
Thank you. Thanks, Brooke. We spoke with Dr. Danielle Henderson at IU Health earlier, and here's what she had to say.
For a lot of us right now, this is unfamiliar for us. Most of us have not lived through or experienced pandemics. Maybe some of us weren't even really familiar with what that really meant. And so I think first recognizing that that's a feeling that you're having, and that there are people all over the country and probably the world who are experiencing similar feelings. Mm-hmm. Talking to your coworkers, talking to your friends, family members about how you're feeling, and I'm imagining those people in your network are feeling similarly, and you guys can talk about it, or hopefully you have people in your network who can help balance out some of the concerns.
Dr. Henderson also went on to say, while we have to abide by the restrictions and practice social distancing, we cannot lose social interaction. Social interaction is known to help people cope with anxiety. Henderson suggests using FaceTime, our phones, and social media to keep your circle close and maintain bonds with the people we rely on.